Well, hello farming friends, welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mistermoose. Back on Manchester with the Soul mod installed, and today we are continuing on with our planting. We've got to work on field number 20 today and do a little bit of finishing up with fields 6 and 7. 4 is good to go, so yesterday, as y'all know, we planted quite a bit, and that is got us to where we are at. I've done quite a bit to the farm since we were last here. A lot to talk about, so we will get going and get started here. And to begin with, we will start with this particular tractor. You might notice there's a little something different to it, huh? I've told y'all once before that Serious Gamer, who is the one that turned me on to this particular John Deere, has been messing with it to make a dirty version of it, and he has finished up with it. He sent me this file a couple of weeks ago, and but I haven't messed with it at all because I didn't want to put it in the video. You guys see it in the video and then be wondering, well, where can I get that? And start asking me a whole bunch of questions about it, and I have to tell you, well, you can't have it because it's my play toy and you can't play with it because he didn't have the distribution rights to put it out. But since he has gotten with the original mod developer and has gotten permission to put the dirty version out, and so I can put it into the game and actually play with it. Now, I've got one little issue with it, and otherwise he did a really good job of dirtying it up. It looks good. Why the original modder didn't take the time to do that, I don't understand. But here's the issue I have. Y'all see it on the tires. As I move around, the tires do some weird funky things as you move around. It's just some sort of a shading issue that I don't know if it's in the original mod reacting with his dirty version of it or what, but that little changing of the shadows drives me nuts. It's like as the tires rotate, it's just some sort of a shadowing or shading feature or something, but it's way too overpronounced. And I don't know if that can get resolved. It's kind of weird. It's almost like maybe it's going through several different dirt stages or something, or maybe it's just a bright sunlight, light sunlight. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. I'll take it back to the back to where I've got the 1050, and we can compare the mud on it and the way the 1050 reacts. See how it just kind of, it's like a strobe light. Alright, so if we put it right here next to the 1050 and I get the 1050 started up, which has been dirty since day one, I haven't washed it or anything. If you notice, when it goes around, I don't get that strobing effect of the dirt texture. So yeah, I don't know why the John Deere does that, but it's doing it. So anyways, so we're still gonna mess around with it a bit. He's done a heck of a job, and I'm sure he'll see this video, and as he always does, he'll see this video, and then I'll end up getting a text message from him that says, I'm working to fix that. I'll have another version out soon or something. Guy's amazing. He's a cool dude, and he's always, I'll tell you what, he's helped me out anytime. Like I'll say something in a video, and I'll get a text message or a comment from him about how he's already experienced that and here's how to fix it or something like that. He's always been quick to tell me things about this game, and He's a real wealth of knowledge. So the fact that he took the time to even do this is so cool. And you know, hopefully we can, or hopefully he'll get all that. Okay, so I was going to see if he fixed the radio, but he didn't. But anyways, yeah, this is my first time actually using this mod with the dirty version on, so I'm just now catching this kind of thing. Anyways, we'll be messing with it today and using it in our field work. The other thing you're probably seeing in the background and realize something has changed here, huh? I spent quite a bit of time messing around yesterday with options for how to fix this and the grass underneath it. And as you can see, I got a group of people to come in and lay some concrete block down, and now we have a nice concrete block foundation all the way underneath our shed. This, I probably should have done this project and recorded it to show you guys what I did, but honestly I didn't know whether anybody would be interested or not, because I had already done an episode where we put this shed into place, and I thought, well, I'm just doing the same thing over again and people are going to get tired of it. But here's what I ended up doing. I've had this texture in play since probably February. It's a placeable mod that you can actually place on top of. So if you go into miscellaneous, it's called Bowden plate. And it's just a big, huge, placeable texture of a block, like a concrete block driveway or whatever. Big, huge square. Just put it in perspective, y'all can see how big it actually is. And there's 3 of them laid down through here. I got this back when I originally got this shed mod because I was going to put it on My Big Country and try to increase the storage on My Big Country, and I didn't want it to be grass and I didn't want it to be dirt underneath there, but I never could get it to set right on the ground. I always had some issues with placing it, so I gave up and I never used it. And I probably mentioned this in the video yesterday or the day before when I started talking about what to do about the grass under here, and I wasn't really sure whether it would work, and it turned out it worked. They tried a couple of other things. GT Farmer, I think, mentioned in the comments about how I could probably go in, since I had Soul Mod in, spray the grass and kill the grass with that, you know, the X herbicide that's supposed to kill everything. It actually didn't kill the grass. I did a test. Sprayed some of it on the grass, fast forwarded 5-6 days, it never killed it. So it'll kill everything in the field, and it'll kill weeds, but it will not kill the grass that is not in the field. So that didn't work. So then I looked at a few other different options. I actually went into the Giants editor and was going to, my next solution was going into the Giants editor and take this texture here and continue to build it on out, have some little make it look like this here with the tracks to a couple of different bays. Like, let's say the 18-wheeler would be much more worn out, maybe like have some of these be really worn and have a little bit of grass in a more pronounced. I was gonna put like a small trail this way coming back over here to the field, and then maybe one that just kind of faded into this area and have it still grass, but still have grass here, and then be a little bit worn around in here. But I came quickly to realize that was going to take a lot more time than I had to work on it, so I didn't do it. Didn't do that. But so I came back in the game. I ended up plowing this whole area up, and getting it plowed up so there was no grass here, then placed the texture, and then placed the building on top of it. And I got pretty close. You can see where the joint is right there. You know, for the way you place things in this game, it did pretty good. It's not perfect in everywhere, but it's close enough. and I managed to get the joint in that pretty close. It's a little bit off, but I'm pretty happy with it. After I got it all in place, I came back with a grass seeder and seeded up so it have the grass growing up close to the block. I debated on whether to do that. I had about if you got a half block here, I had maybe a quarter block of plowed ground exposed on this side as well as on this side, and I thought about not even messing with it. You can see a little bit of the plowed ground there, but then I just went ahead and grassed it up to make it look nice and tight. So that is done, and the only thing I have concerns with is will the weeds grow up through it? Since it is plowed ground, I'm going to get some weeds grow up through there. But with it being soil mod, if once it uses all the nutrition and water that is in that section of ground, the weeds will die. So, alright, let's get to some farming and stop talking about stuff. Actually just do some work. Alright, field 6 and 7 need to have a little bit of pH adjustment to them. They're around 6.8. They're not too bad, but if I don't put something on them, I'm going to fall in the hole, and I'd rather get a little something on them. Y'all know I made a mistake. I got to yakking while I was doing the video and not paying attention to what I was doing, and I forgot to put the lime on the field. And I thought, well, I'll just do it right before I sow the field. And I got to yakking, and I never put the lime on the field again. So then I thought, well, you know, I'll put it on afterwards, and that way it won't raise it up too much. Instead of plowing it in, I won't get as high of a value on it, and everything will be fine. Well, yeah. After yesterday's video and putting all the lime on field 20 in liquid form, I decided that was not going to happen on this video because that's way too much time. That took nearly forever. And yeah, so I came back over here and re-thought it. And one thing about it is, and it didn't really sink into me until later on too, is if I come back and put an application of wet on here, not only is it going to take forever, but it's also going to run the risk of having this field be oversaturated, because again, I do have rain coming in this series, in this planting cycle, and so with the rain coming, it's probably best that I just do this dry. So I'm going to pay a little stupid tax here, and since I was a bonehead and did things wrong, I'll have to eat it. But yeah, so instead of doing wet and having the tram lines match up for all of this, I'm gonna have to do one passive dry and then do the rest wet, and also I'll end up with some tram lines in here, though in all honesty, I don't know if you can dry spread you can't dry spread the herbicide. I was gonna say I could dry spread everything while we were in first and second growth, and I wouldn't have to water because it's gonna rain. Yeah, I won't get away with it. I'll just pay the stupid tax. Alright, so off we go. We gotta spray some lime on here. And once again, just remember that you get, by putting the lime out, you're going to get 0.7 on lime. Whereas if I had worked it into the soil, I would have gotten 0.9 out of it. Now with this field being 6.8, 6.9, it's right in the range. I'm still going to, even though it says 6.8, it's really 6.9 in this particular area. It's really lower than that because I've already put one application of nitrogen on here, and nitrogen depletes 2 units. Choo-choo! Look, I'm trying to be a train. Nitrogen takes out 2 units, between growth stages 2 and 3, you lose 2 units. And then you also lose 2 units to application of herbicide. So I'm putting 7 on, but I'm going to lose 6. So that means at the end of the day, like this is 6.8 right here. At the end of the day, I'll be 6.9. I'll still be neutral, and this field will be in good shape. So we should be good to go. Alright, roll on again. Well, alright, so I got one, once again yesterday. Manchester. Downloaded the map, tried to install it, nothing works. For those who are new to the series, once again, if you decide you want to play this map, and the link to it is in the description down below, you have to extract the download file that you get, which has several little zips in the inside of it, one of which is called Manchester with Soul Mod ... please do something around, jump down, turn around, pick a bell cotton, something. I forget what it says. But it's really long, and it has 3 dots in the middle of it. And if you try to play this map without renaming that file, it will not load. And so keep that in mind. You have to rename the zip file for this map. The easiest thing to do is just rename it Manchester and put it in, and you should be good to go. But I got another one yesterday, so I thought I'd mention that. So speaking of the Giants, or the zip file and the Giants editor and everything, I was talking about using it last night. One thing I ran into with this map, and again, y'all know I've talked about this before, the empty field planes or the combine filling up with apples on this particular map. And I know everybody thinks it's because I have the apple mod installed, or everybody will tell me it's because I have the apple mod installed. But I got digging around a little bit, and other people have had issues with this map because again, this is from what I'm getting from other people, the field planes weren't ever added in for soybean and oats. You get if you don't have the apple mod in or anything else like that it can grab a texture from, it will just grab whatever texture. So it seems like it grabs maybe wheat or barley and puts it in there. So you see something in your combine, you see that you've got a texture in your combine, you just don't realize that it's not soybean and it's not oats. So when you do your harvest, you don't realize it, but the texture's not right. When you put in the apple mod, then it's putting in the texture for the apples, and so then you see that there's an issue. So that's sort of where I'm at. I'm seeing apples in my particular game because I have the apple mod in, or I have it in my mods folder. So I might as well do this the right way and do this without issues. I gotta go over to this other field and do it anyway, so I will go over to field 6. When I broadcast into 6, it'll take care of part of field 7 for me. So let's do that. Of course, I gotta drive all the way around the front to get to 6. Otherwise, I'm gonna smush a little bit of my field. So anyways, I went into the Giants editor, and I ran into this issue again last night. If you do anything to the original file structure of a map that somebody else has created, and then try to download, put it into Giants Editor to do any kind of editing, if you get any kind of warnings that you're missing a file, you pretty much can't get that file to ever save in Giants Editor. Found that out the hard way. I did a whole bunch of work and then kept trying to save it, and I couldn't get it to save. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to save. Well, it turns out that you know, of course, with me doing this on YouTube, I have to kind of pay attention to little things like music playing in the background. And because when Reaper did this particular map, the little Holly McHottie that is up there by the dairy farm, there's actually a radio there that plays a song. And the song on it is, I think it's Rodney Atkins does it, but it's called Farmer's Daughter. And because that is broadcasting, I had to go in and find the audio file and take it out of the game or out of the map. Otherwise, I'd get in trouble with YouTube and copyright infringement and all that other stuff, right? So I had done that before, and when I went into Giants to do the editing on this map and change it, make a few changes to it, just like to remove a tree here or there, and in my case to put the field planes in for soybean and put the field planes and particle animations in for oats, I couldn't do it. It would not save because it was looking for that audio file, and that audio file was not in there, and it was giving me a nightmare. So I had to go back and find the original zip for this particular map and find that stupid audio file. And when I did, I decided I made a bunch of little mistakes. Originally I thought, well, you know what, I'll just go ahead and I'll unzip this file version. I had it archived somewhere on this computer. I unzip it, I open it up, and I said, you know what, instead of just pulling the audio file out and putting it in my little folder over here, I'll just unzip this, work on this particular, you know, file, and then I'll just zip it back up and then throw it into my mods folder. Well, so I did that. I unzipped it, did the corrections I had. I put the particles in, took out a couple of trees, did a few things, saved it, and thought, okay, good to go. Put it in the game, loaded the game up, went to spray some lime on the field, and I started getting, first thing I noticed was I had all those little twinkling textures in the grass and in the fields, like the little sparkling gems. I had all that in here, and I couldn't figure out why. And I had issues with the lime spraying golden again. And I was like, well, what is going on here? Why is this happening? Come to figure out, I had an older version of this particular map installed, or it was a older version of this map in that archive that still had all that little twinkling effects and particle animations in it. So I had to go back and start all over again. Oh man, I ran out right there just because of that little hitch. So I had to go back and redo it. I've done it like 4 times now. Finally, I did the smart thing, and I took the map that I was currently running, that I've been doing so much work with on this. I finally took it, pulled the little Farmer's Daughter sound out of the other one, put it into this one, edited this map, saved all the changes to this map, and then put this map in, and now I have the right sound files and all that other stuff. Everything's right now. So, and then once I got everything recorded, I had to go back in and take the sound file out again so that I didn't have that playing in the background and get in trouble. So that's a long story, but yeah. And again, so what I've had to do, and we'll see when we actually harvest the soybeans this time, I should not get apples in the back. I should get soybeans in the back, as I have gone ahead and gotten the proper I've got the proper field planes in now for soybean and oat installed into this particular map. So when it calls for it, and again, it's not, the situation is, what's happening is when it's calling for soybean, it's not getting soybean, it's getting whatever field plane it decides to put in there. So now with the change that I've made, and I have to thank Shy Wizard for pointing this out to me and steering me in the right direction. He actually, and the guys, he's another one of these guys like Serious Gamer that if you have an issue and they can help you out with it, they'll tell you about it, and they'll send you a link with all the info that you need. And he basically, not only did he tell me what he did to resolve the issues for himself, he did a video for me so I could actually see him put the fill planes in, and I could see exactly what he did to resolve it for himself. So hats off to him. And then so I went ahead and had to dig up all the fill planes, which if you're looking for the fill planes for this map, the easiest place to get them from is download the BlackRock map. And inside of it, he's got I think it's Stevie did that one. He's got all the fill planes in there that you need for oats and for soybean. Soybean has one folder that you've got to get with the ID3 file that you need in it, and then you have two files that you have to get for the oats, where you need the particle. You need oats for a texture, and then you need the particle animation for oats as well. So there's two particular files that you, or two structures that you need. I hit that corn thing again. Anyways, hit it again, which threw me out into the field, and I'm doing more damage than I'm doing good. Paying a lot of stupid tax. Alright, so that's done. So yeah, when we harvest soybeans this time, we should actually have soybean in the combine versus the apples, and that allows me to still have the apple mod stuff installed on my computer or in my mods folder. I don't have to take them out and run the, and then when I get ready to go back to Brabant or somewhere like that that has apples, I won't be wondering why I don't have apple trees. And if I decide to put apple trees on this particular map, you know, I can do it. So that's the thing, I'd rather fix it and do it right, so that if I decide to do something else, I can always go back and do something else. The easiest solution, sure, is just take the apple mod folder out of the game, and then that I wouldn't run any issues with those textures conflicting. But I'd rather just go ahead and get it fixed, so that if I decide to do apple trees and put an apple orchard in on this map, I can do that. So alright, that is taken care of. Those two fields are good to go. We don't have to do anything else until it rains. Well, the next day we will end up putting herbicide on all of these fields. And again, I can't, my understanding of the soil mod, and somebody might clarify me if what you're doing on your maps, but my understanding is you can't do fertilizer and herbicide on the same day. So that's the reason why today I'm going to do fertilizer, tomorrow I'm going to do herbicide. And it gives me something to do tomorrow other than just fast forward through the day, so, which there's plenty to do. Lots of grass to be mowed eventually. Alright, so let's grab this guy. Let's see, where am I at? I need to put, I don't need this guy right now. We're just gonna move him down here anyways. Trying to think where I'm at. I need to fertilize field 20 is what I need to do next. So let's go ahead, just park this guy right here, turn that off, and we'll jump into the fertilizer sprayer. Alright, so I've already got this thing charged up. I went through and did a little bit more work on this particular field last night. Now, I sprayed, in yesterday's video, I sprayed it with the liquid lime to get some moisture into the field and also get the pH on it going in the right direction. One thing I ran into when I was doing that was I noticed there was a section of this field that when I automated the cultivator to run through the field, it didn't do right. It actually, because this field, and I guess I understand now why this field is only $247 or whatever to purchase, is because there are some, I think it's right there is where the tram lines are. There are some areas in this field that are just really unlevel, and it's got a lot of rolling to it. And because of that, there was a section that didn't even get cultivated. Well, because I'm going to put corn in this field, I want to make sure all of it is, you know, properly prepped to move ahead. So I ended going back through. Sorry, I'm doing 3 things at one time. I went through last night and came back and recultivated this map. So that's the reason you don't see lime in it anymore, is because I was like, well, you know what, I need to do this. I'll go back through and if I cultivate that one little place, again going back to the lime, it was right up in here. If I cultivate that one little place, the pH in it shoots up another 2 points from the rest of the field. So rather than have that one little section off, I just decided I would cultivate the entire field. So you'll notice I've gone through and cultivated this entire field. And I'm going to spray really wide up here, just because when I get down to the road, it leaves a little bitty spot down by the road. And so why not spray a little bit wider up here, and then you'll have a wide spot down there to spray as well. Again, why I wish somebody would come out with like a little small attachment that you could put on the front of one of these or something, you know, or on another tractor. Oh yeah, that's realistic, that boom digging down into the ground there. It would be cool if somebody had an attachment. This is the area right here that was messed up. If you had a small little like 8-foot adjustable boom, you know, that you had on here that you could hang off one side of a tractor, that articulated from one side of the tractor to the other. That's a useful mod that's not in this game. Because if I spray, I'm not going to want to waste all that fertilizer. in real life, I'd have multiple sizes of sprayers so that I could instead of using this big old honker on the whole thing, I would have a way to spray that one little area and not like I could ride the perimeter in a smaller tractor and be able to take care of it. Problems. Oh, I gotta figure this whole area out. So we're gonna put let's talk about the fertilization for this field. You'll notice I'm spraying in and not NPK. I'm gonna do 2 fertilizer passes on this field. The first is gonna be now. The second will be in a tomorrow. This field's gonna be a little bit different than the other, but because I can't stack 2 doses of fertilizer on top of each other, I have to spray one today, one tomorrow. So we'll put the nitrogen on now. I probably should have done it differently. Probably should have put the PK down now to get the PK up, because I do have I've got some nitrogen in this field. The PK is really, really low, but I'll do the nitrogen today and then do the PK either on day 2 or day 3, and then depending on where we're at, and then I'll come back and be good with it. So if I put 1 dose of nitrogen down, and then I'll do 1 dose of PK, and that way we can get this field back into balance, or closer into being balanced. I'm gonna have to fold up because of that sign right there. Alright, note to self, this should be one of those fields where I do the perimeter and then come back in the center and do the rest of it. It really does need a headland. Alright, so we'll make the turn here. Yeah, see, we've already got weeds showing up in this particular field, so I need to get herbicide in it as soon as I can. I need to go back and look at that and see if I can put herbicide down on top of the fertilizer. And maybe I misread that. Maybe I'm recalling that improperly. You know what? No. Again, this mod it's one of those things where there's not enough documentation out on it, but the tutorial that I watched, the guy in the tutorial specifically says you can't put herbicide and fertilizer down at the same time. So and yeah, I was just thinking, well, maybe the cultivator on the cedar would get rid of that, but then I remembered, oh, I'm putting corn in, so yeah, no cultivator on the corn, cedar, so that's not going to work either. So I'm stuck with some weeds already. It's amazing to me. I mean, literally, it's been 15 minutes of in-game play and those weeds pop up. It's funny to me how fast the weeds pop up in this mod. I've cultivated the field, taken the cultivator, put it up, come back with the seeder to seed the field, and there's weeds popped up in the field already. So that's pretty funny to me, just how fast they pop up. Alright, so really got to figure this planting or the spraying of this field out. So now I've got this one little section here that I've got to come back and do, which really stinks. Because you end up putting yet another set of tram lines in the field. Which it really doesn't matter now because I don't have the field seeded. But when I come back to do my sprayings tomorrow, then I'm going to have issues with it. All right. Oh, yeah, this field has got a lot of character to it. It's got a lot of dips and bends in it that you don't really see until you actually start rolling through it and seeing all the big dips in there. And if this boom was actually collidable with the ground, I would be digging in and tearing it up quite a bit. So alright, so now we got our fertilizer sprayed. And I'm going to take this unit back up to the field. I don't need to put... Well, do I need to put a dose of water on this field? Let's look. Let's think. Drive back into the field so I can see where I'm at and think about this real quick. Zero moisture. We've put 28. I do need to go ahead and put some water on it. So let's go ahead and put this over here and fill it up, and then we'll switch it over to water. Alright, so let's change this to NPK. Charge that back up while that is charging. Let's grab this guy and head on over to the field with him. Two schools of thought here. I could go ahead and water now and get it done and be done with it, and then come in and seed, and I wouldn't put any tram lines on my seed, but let's do it like we would really do it in real life. Plant it and then water in our seed later on. So all right, I think I'll start back here in the back with it. The nice thing about these fields though is you don't have to do headlands on them. They got enough of an area where you can actually get back here and make turns out of the field, so we don't have to do any kind of issues. Alright, let's get in here, get straightened up. It's good. Alright, let's get our GPS turned on so we can maximize our effort. And I need to turn that one on, get rid of our offset, come on over, make sure we have the proper planting width, 10 meters. This is a 9-meter cedar, Sometimes, I mean, make sure that you check that when you come in here and you hit the auto calculate on it. It'll calculate, and sometimes it'll calculate more than it really should. Now, in all honesty, this thing probably does have a 10-meter seating face on it because of the way Giants designed it. But just to be safe, go ahead. It's rated for 9 meters. I'm going to dial it down to 9 meters and use it as a 9-meter seeder. So I may have a little overlap, but I'm going to do it as the way it's supposed to be done, just so I don't end up with a little, you know, places where I missed out. So, alright, turn on the drill, and let's get going. And we'll go ahead and get this seated up. Oh, come on, get going, cruise control. Y'all, I was looking at I got to cracking up last night. I was watching a few videos that are out of people doing some farm sim stuff, because I was looking at some different mods. I was looking for a big, like, 24 row corn head to seed with, and I was watching some videos on some other people's usage of some mods that are out there, and one guy had a John Deere with a 24-meter head on it and he was rolling through his field planting at 26 miles an hour, and I was like, whoa, that's a little fast for seeding there, buddy. I guess if the mod, you know, if it lets you do it, do it. But you wouldn't plant that fast. That seemed a little bit extreme for how fast to plant. Make sure we get good coverage through here. The way this field rolls up and down, you see how it's got that big hill right there in the center, a big mound right in the center, and then it dips way down right there. You can't really tell that just kind of looking at the field. You got to drive through it to notice it. At first glance, it just looks flat as flat. Make our turn, head in. So anyways, move forward. So I've gotten a lot of comments, and if I haven't responded to them, some of it is because I can't respond to you personally, but people have been asking me lately about, am I looking for somebody to farm with? You know, I've gotten several people say, I want to farm with you. Can I farm with you this weekend? Can I do this? I really don't do much multiplayer farming. One, just because it's such a pain to try and make sure that you have the same mods as I do, and vice versa. And then trying to figure out when I've got time and you've got time and we can get it all matched up. So really, I don't do any multiplayer. Look, that actually took those weeds out. Shouldn't have, but it did. Well, actually, in all honesty, in real life, it would, because you got some cutters on the front of these and then you got the plate, it would actually tear up the weeds, but it's not really a... You wouldn't want to be going through a whole lot of weeds and grass with it. But anyways, I don't always know when I'm going to record a video. So, or when I'm going to have time to do any farming. And, you know, like, I did a lot of stuff at 1 o'clock this morning on this particular map, because that was when I was awake and had some free time, and my internet was out, so I didn't have I couldn't play any online games that I wanted to play. I actually wanted to do a little bit more testing in Fishing Planet last night, and after taking a early evening nap to get a little shut-eye yesterday, woke up last night and had a little antsy, so I jumped on to play, and no internet connection. Surprise! And so I messed around with Farm Sim all night long. And so that's when I was on doing work and doing my Farm Sim stuff. If you look at my videos, and you can see when I'm doing the recordings on these videos, it's 11:56 when I'm recording this. So there is no rhyme or reason to when I get on and do these things. It's just when I have time. Been doing a whole lot of stuff today, and had a busy morning. I was at the farm this morning at about 5:45 doing things, trying to get some stuff in line over there, and getting some prep work done for the corn harvest and everything, and working on the tractor and stuff. Came home when it got hot as all Hades. I came home to do some things and record this video and mess around the house here, and probably this afternoon I'll go back out to the farm this evening and do some stuff. That's just, you know, so I pick and choose when I do things. There's no consistency to when I'm online, so that's another reason I don't do much multiplayer. Now, I'm trying to coordinate with Landy. He and I have talked about doing a co-op farm where the two of us, maybe 2 days a week, get together and do a multiplayer just for fun, where, you know, maybe we do some forestry stuff together, or just do an ag farm, and it's multiplayer to where we can do it consistently, you know, where it's done 2 episodes a week, and on whatever farm we choose. So he and I may do that, but for the most part I just don't do multiplayer. Now, I've mentioned it before that Landy may turn his dedicated and may open it up to where it's something that will be more available for public use. If he does that, I will jump on there and do some stuff on it, and be happy to do some stuff with people. And if I do, I'll tell you when I'm going to be on it, and I'll make an effort to be on there, and a couple of times a week, and we can jump on there and do something together. But for the most part, it's I just don't do multiplayer stuff. So but just to answer the questions I've got, I get a lot of people asking me now, hey, can we do some farming together? Can I farm with you on Friday? Can I farm with you on Saturday? I just, you know, like I said, I don't have a consistent schedule of when I'm going to be on doing stuff. So, and my Farm Sim stuff is very inconsistent. I may do a video at 5 a.m. I may do my Farm Sim stuff at 5 a.m. I may do my stuff at 11 o'clock at night. I may do my farm sim stuff at, you know, 8 in the morning, noon. There's just no telling when I'm gonna do it. Alright, so we'll get our corn put in here and we will be done with our sowing. All our fields will be buttoned up and be good to go. Tomorrow we will we'll fast track time tomorrow, and we will we'll do a little bit of spraying to put the herbicide out for weed control. I'll have to reconsult my manual once again on what herbicides to use, just so I don't make a stupid mistake, though I think I remember most of it off the top of my head. I'm getting better with it. And then we'll probably do some grass mowing tomorrow to start getting some more grass accumulated. And by the way, if you're ever playing this map and you just want a whole lot of grass to mow, you can drive straight through those trees there, and there's tons of grass back there to mow. A little bit of a cheat, a little bit of a hack, but man, there's a lot of grass back there. So if you ever just, you know, you want to grow grass but you don't want to do it in the areas around the farm, maybe you just want to run some really nice long straight lines and be done with it, there's a lot of grass back there to mow. I know that doesn't fit within the map, but you know, if you ever wanted to stockpile a whole lot of grass, that's a good place to go get it. Now me, I will probably mow, I may go back here and mow back here behind the cattle pens and stock up there. And I got to looking at it yesterday, because I haven't spent much time down in this section of the map, because I'm always up at the other farm. But since we are getting close to being in a situation to do the beef, I got to looking at it. There's a huge green field for grass, so I might move all the mowing stuff down here and just mow down here instead of mowing up at the main farm. And the way this is set up, it's really nice. It has a, I don't know if I covered this or not in the video the other day, the way he has set up this map, it's really kind of cool, but it's also sort of a hack. The grass silo is global, or your forage storage is all global. So if I put grass in the bunkers on the beef farm, that grass is shared globally across the map and is available at the other 3 locations as well. So if I put 1,000 liters of grass in this silo down here, that same 1,000 liters of grass is available at the pig farm as well as at the main farm where the mixing station is. Sort of a hack. I mean, you don't have to truck it around at all. You just, you know, go to the farm that you need to get grass from, and there's grass there. So I kind of messed that up, didn't I? I was trying to straighten it up a little bit so I didn't miss as much, and I ended up screwing up. let's come out a little bit wider and straighten up this time. And I'm guessing it's the same with the grain silos as well, because there's a grain silo on that farm there that you can put the grains in, and I'm sure it's globally shared across the 3 farms as well. So it's interesting. It's pretty neat that you can do that, but at the same time, it is sort of a it's a convenience, but it's sort of a hack. That would be like globally putting all the manure in one storage facility and not having to truck it from one place to another place. Not saying I don't appreciate the not saying I don't appreciate the fact that it's there. I'm just saying from an act of realism, it sort of messes it up. Not everybody goes for realism on this stuff. A lot of people just play it and have fun, and they don't care about realism. Oh man. Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button twice. I went to hit the, sometimes I just forget how I've got things set up. Stupid me. I went to hit the button to make sure I locked the GPS in, and instead I hit the disconnect button. That's a lot of times too. Y'all will see I'll fall out of the tractor. I go to hit the button to turn on and off the sprayer. It usually happens when I'm spraying. I go to hit the button to turn the sprayer off, which is my left shoulder and my X button on my gamepad. Well, when I do that, it's also the same button to get out of the tractor if you don't have the shoulder. And a lot of times I'll hit it and I've either released the shoulder or haven't engaged the shoulder yet at the same time when I'm trying to do it so fast, and I end up falling out of the tractor. So it's good to know that when you're seeding with this thing, while it doesn't have a cultivating function as far as being able to do no-till, it is good to know that it will cut the weeds up in the soil mod. I would have bet that I've never paid attention to it until now, you know, but I would have thought that you know, well, the way everything else is coded in this game, that it would see this as not having any cultivation at all, and it would leave the weeds there. But it's good to know that it sees the fact that this would, because it's got, you know, the way your seeder is, it's got little trowels on it and little it's got some little cutters on it, and it's got a little spade that digs a little trench, and then your seed goes in, and then you got some little packers that throw dirt back over the seed, and so you would definitely dig up and disturb the weeds when you were planting. So it's good to see that they've actually calculated that in for corn, so that you do actually disturb the weeds and get a little bit of mechanical cultivating done. A little mechanical weed control. having not paid attention to it before, though, I sort of was thinking, well, there's weeds already in the field. I'm going to be stuck with them until I spray herbicide. But, ooh. And I am not getting this done right. Come on. This seeder is just tracking all weird. Couple more passes and we'll be done with this, and then we'll probably be done for the video for today, and we'll be in good shape. I do need to put some water on this field, don't I? Alright, so we'll seed it, we'll put the water on it, and that'll be our video for the day. And then when we come back tomorrow, it'll be the next day. And like I said earlier, we'll just kind of call it as it is, but probably tomorrow's video is just going to be spraying and mowing some grass. Unless I come up with something else to do. There we go. Probably the last time we'll use this corn seeder. I've downloaded 5 different seeders, and I'm gonna mess around with them and play with them and see which ones I like, and then we'll add one into the game, something bigger, because I'm gearing up for field 1. I'm planning out my attack on it and what we're gonna do with it, and part of that involves getting a big huge seeder to do corn in that field. So yeah. And again, the corn that we're doing the plantings that we're doing this time, this is all going to be silage, or I just saw that. I don't know why that weight was sitting down like that. But yeah, that is my game plan as far as that goes. Is this does not look like it has that huge slope on it like that. Alright, let's get this last little bit done. So yeah, we'll end up going to be purchasing a forage harvester. And I don't think I'm going to rent one. I think I'm going to actually purchase one and put it on the farm. I know I've been doing a lot of rental on those things, and it's a nice little thing to have, but I think at the same time it's good to invest and buy one. The only positive of renting thing that I like is it gives me the ability to change out mods. You know, like if another harvester came out, I could buy that. You know, I could use a different harvester each time by being able to rent it. But I also hate the time constraints on it and things of that nature, though I know you can just re-up it. But I hate trying to figure out how much time I need for it and wasting time. Yeah, I feel like you would purchase one. So I'll probably purchase one this time around. Purchase one that's got the you know, and get all the heads for it, so we can use a grass mowing, you know, on it. Have all the features. Alright, so we're gonna drive over here to the other farm, and we'll grab the sprayer. We'll head back out. Turn that off. But yeah, if you look back in that back corner, that's all green field back there. This would be a nice place to farm for, you know, just for grass mowing. And then you would have all your, you got all your cattle here for their beef. And the corn dryer here, actually, from my understanding, the corn dryer actually works now, which is cool. But yeah, you can see this thing's full of straw, grass, silage, and it just pulls it over from what's already existing at the main farm. And then a nice little green field here that you can mow. There's grass all down through there, and there's other areas where you can mow it. So it might not be a bad idea to move all the grass or all the grass equipment down here, and I can do my mowing and stuff down in this area. Get this little front yard area. I don't know, I'll figure it out eventually. I really need to drive around this map some more and figure out what I want to do with it. Try this differently this time. I'm going to start down here by the street and get everything going. Alright, let's adjust this over. Alright. I almost made a mistake. And I'm sure somebody right now is watching this video going, hey, you didn't switch to water. You didn't switch back to water. At least I'm catching it these days. Could have screwed up and put a whole lot more fertilizer on it, which y'all know me, I'm great at doing that on the cornfields. Alright, switch over to water. Somebody also commented the other day, they're like, why do you spray the fields with water? Can't you just use a slurry tanker to spray water? I don't think so. I don't think you can. I've never, I'll be honest, never tried it. But I don't think you can. I think you have to use a sprayer. I don't even know that you can load water in a slurry sprayer or injector. Be a lot easier, but then again, it wouldn't be as, I don't know that it'd be as productive either. Alright, I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to do a headland this time on this field. I'm not going to worry as much about, but because I've always keep having to collapse the booms on this thing down because of the street signs and the hill over here, I'm going to do it just a little bit different this time. Whoa! It's like a plane making a really hard bank, isn't it? It'd be cool to have, like I said, it'd be nice to have some smaller booms, have different options. Yeah, I think I'll run a headland on this one this time. Alright, so make our turn here. Of course, I'm not doing a very good job with it because I went too deep. I'll learn it. And I didn't go deep enough, so I screwed that up. So we get this last little bit of spraying done, guys, and we will call it a day. Appreciate you watching today, and as always, thank you so much. I welcome your comments. If you're enjoying Manchester, I gotta be looking for my next soul map. After doing this whole soul mod thing, I can't see playing the game much without it. It really takes it to a whole nother level for the game. I enjoy it a lot more. Gives you a little bit more challenge, right? But hopefully more and more soul mod ready maps will come out so that you can go ahead and do it. I actually just need to learn how to do the soul mod, or how to install the soul mod. I need to sit down and figure that out so I can actually put soul mod into some of these maps. I sat down and looked into it at one point, but I just couldn't find the information that I needed that was clear and concise. Some of it was a little bit, at the time I was trying to do it, just didn't seem as clear and straightforward. There was a little bit of a gray area on it to me, or a few things I just didn't understand exactly. Because I don't claim to be a genius at all of the coding on this stuff. Alright, we gotta come through here. And yeah, we'll have two tight tram lines together, but unfortunately, because of the width of this field, again, it'd be great if I had like if you had like an 8 meter boom, you could go down the outside perimeter of the field, down along the tree line. You could go down there with the boom out to the edge, spray that one side, and you'd be good. You wouldn't have the waste and And let's be honest, if this was, even if the soul mod was even more realistic, all the overspray would hurt me as well, because this particular section of the field would have a double dose of water on it, and it would be wetter than the rest of the field would be. But it only calculates one spraying, so or as far as I know, it only calculates one spraying. Who knows? It may, I have to look at that tomorrow when the numbers are all calculated out. I may end up with this one little section of the field really, really wet, and I may have to rethink that going forward. Alright, it's going to do it. I'll move some equipment around, get them back to the main farm. No need in leaving them down here. And we will we'll get back at it. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, spraying and mowing and doing some more stuff here on the farm. As now all our fields are planted, and at this point they just need herbicide tomorrow, and then we'll monitor our moisture content. In 4 days we'll be ready to harvest, and we'll get us some soybean and barley that we'll add to our silos, and then we'll chaff all this up and make even more silage. So thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video. To that one guy that dislikes everything I do, thank you for watching again. You impress me with your consistency. You're awesome. The rest of you guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I do a new video each and every day, or at least I try to do a new video each and every day. I am pretty consistent about it though. So until tomorrow, guys, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in our next video. Until then, stay safe, have a great day. Bye bye.